Are adrenal issues exacerbating your pain and fatigue? If you have chronic pain and or fatigue, or both, then adrenal issues may be a big part of this. And what I see, especially when people have chronic pain, is when we have chronic pain, our bodies are under so much stress that we end up having adrenal issues. And adrenal issues are very significant, can affect our entire body, can exacerbate our pain, or can be a huge contributor to fatigue, low energy, get trouble getting started in the morning, and we try and overcompensate with caffeine or other things to try and get us going, which then only exacerbate the adrenal issues. So let's talk about what are adrenal issues, how do we know if we have them, and what are some steps that we can do to start working through these. So adrenal issues are a big deal. I can tell you from personal experience, from myself and working with all of my clients, and I will say all of my clients with chronic pain all have symptoms of potential adrenal issues. So this is something that is super common. I will say it is especially common among women, and we just do so much and end up burning ourselves out and developing real issues here. And so adrenal issues are a big deal. Our adrenals are part of a 3-system process that help us deal with stress. And it's really designed to help us deal with small stresses or short stresses. So if we think back in the day, the classic example of we're being chased by a tiger or some sort of animal predator, then the system kicks into play. Our HPA axis, our hypothalamus, adrenal, and pituitary axis kicks into play. Cortisol, among other things, are released. Certain things are shut down in our body, like digestion and hormone production, because we don't need to be eating or making babies while we're trying to run away from a predator. Once that threat is gone, our body goes back into a normal, relaxed state. All of these normal functions start to go again, normal, we're good to go. However, right now in our society, we are not going back into that relaxed state. We are staying in that chronically stressed state, which then can develop all kinds of issues. So what are some signs and symptoms of adrenal issues? So common things include being a night person. Not saying all night people have adrenal issues, but if you are a night person, this can be the case. If you have trouble falling asleep, if you feel tired and wired, so you're really tired, you just want to go to bed, but then you lay down, you close your eyes, your brain starts going, your heart starts racing, and you just feel like your body's going and going and can't get into that relaxed state. If you're a slow starter in the morning, it takes you a while to really get going in the morning, this can be a sign of some adrenal issues. If you have chronic lower back pain, chronic knee pain, and with the knee pain specifically kind of towards the inside in the middle of the knee, not so much on top of the joint, but kind of in the middle on the side, that can be a sign. If you are prone to ankle sprains or shin splints, that can be a sign. Allergies are also a sign, which is a really big one. If you find yourself like really tired, chronically fatigued, yawning in the afternoon, feeling the need to take a nap, this can be a sign. If you crave salty foods, if you have arthritic tendencies, these can all be signs that you have adrenal issues and we might want to start working on them. So how do we start? So nutrition is always a really good place to start. So when we're working on adrenal issues, it's all about reducing stress. So internal stress, external stress. So nutrition, we want to focus on whole foods, not processed. Very much limit your processed food intake. We really want to limit anything that can bring you up, bring you down. So that includes things like alcohol, sugar, caffeine, things that can really mitigate your state. We want to try and be in our most natural state. It's hard at first, and I'll give you a couple suggestions here, but really limiting things that bring you up, bring you down. We also want to reduce our personal inflammatory foods. This is going to be different for everyone, but common inflammatory foods can include gluten, dairy, sugar, hydrogenated processed oils, nightshades, eggs. It's different for everyone. it can be really valuable to figure out what yours are right now. They do change, but those are some of the big ones kind of across the board. And then we really want to make sure that we're also eating enough food, specifically enough protein. We also don't want to really limit any sort of carbohydrates. Like we don't want to do like a ketogenic or a really low carb diet. Any sort of fasting I would not recommend. Anything that's going to cause extra stress on the body. So we really want to fuel our body, give it lots and lots and lots of good nutrients. So those are some nutritional changes. Now, as far as lifestyle, these are going to make the biggest difference. I can tell you from personal experience, making the nutritional changes and doing lots of intense, expensive supplement protocols. Yes, they can help. They are not a long-term solution. I've had adrenal issues come back many times. Fortunately, I have been issue-free for over a year now, and that's in large part due to reducing stress with my lifestyle. So anything that can help you relax. So going on walks, getting outside into nature, getting natural sunlight, going on gentle walks, meditation, deep breathing, Epsom salt baths, sauna use, anything that, laughing, spending time with loved ones, spending time with your pets, anything that makes you feel good and feel relaxed can be hugely beneficial. So, and reducing any stresses that we can. You know, there's obviously going to be things that we can't control. Family situations are going to come up, work things are going to come up, but as much as we can reduce this, the better off we're going to be. So movement is really great. I mentioned movement, walking a few times. Gentle movement is great. Anything intense is not good. Any sort of HIIT training, intense, strenuous strength training, not good. We want to keep these kind of workouts that we're doing very restorative for the body. Not saying you can't do resistance training. You know how much I love resistance training. But it should be gentle on the body. You should not be going to failure. I would kind of avoid some of the big compound lifts with heavy weight for a while. I'd also keep your sessions shorter, maybe closer to 30-45 minutes versus an hour plus. This will just help reduce stress on the body. So other things, some supplements that we can use. So getting off of especially caffeine for many of us when we have adrenal issues can be tough. Using things like adaptogens can be really great, really helpful. I know I used cordyceps quite a few times when I was going through adrenal issues and trying to get off caffeine. That was really tough for me. I'm still a caffeine person. I love a cup of coffee in the morning or a cup of matcha. But cordyceps can be a nice in-between that are more adaptogenic and aren't going to overstimulate you. There's all kinds of adaptogens out there. Give a few a try. They are not for everyone. People can react differently. Ashwagandha is really thrown out there for a lot of people when it comes to adrenal issues. Not everyone responds well to it, and I am one of those, so just keep that in mind. Try out a few. If you don't respond well to one, that doesn't mean you won't respond well to others, so just really keep that in mind. There's also tons of other supplements that you can use. I have full protocols that I've used with clients. There's a lot of them out there, so I'm not going to give you full protocols because it really does vary based on the person, but 2 supplements that are generally good for most people, licorice and ginseng, can be really beneficial when it comes to adrenal issues. So looking out for those, whether by themselves or kind of in a mix with some other blends, they can be very helpful for a lot of people, not everyone. So if you've done a lot of work on your chronic pain and you're still feeling really tired or really fatigued, it might be time to start working on your adrenals. Start slow. Don't overstress yourself trying to reduce your stress. Start really slow. Just do one thing at a time and see how you react.